Well. Who would have thought at one point in the 19th over, Punjab Kings looked to be in the ascendancy. They had restricted Delhi to under about 150. We were all yet again wondering, in a batting first situation, you've gotten a batting impact sub in Abhishek Porel. We thought they'll make a bowling impact sub at that time.
At the start, it looked like a big blunder.
But big blunder? Nah, because Abhishek Porel's last over blitz of 26 runs, including 2 sixes and 3 fours of 25 runs, 3 fours and 2 sixes of Harshal Patel has ensured that from 149 for 8, Delhi Capitals have ended on 174 for 9 and 32 of 10 with a strike rate of 320, when the next best was 166 by Mitchell Marsh at the top. So, David Warner, Mitchell Marsh gave Delhi Capitals a decent start. Shea Hope was the anchor with 33 of 25 with a strike rate of 132. Pretty important knock even by him in the middle order.
Yes.
Rishabh Pant on his comeback, 18 of 13 balls, he struck some very good hits. Was lucky that a catch was not taken by Harshal Patel, but every run, every boundary was cheered. We have done some videos on Sports Today, which will be up pretty shortly, on how Pant was, how social media reacted to it. But Harshit will be very happy with the fact that 174, and you pointed out one thing, that this wicket looks a bit sticky.
It does, Siddharth. I think, the way Rishabh was playing and some of the other batters as well, I think after the power play got over, that's when you got to know how the wicket's actually behaving. Once that hardness, I think, of the wicket was gone, that's when, getting those runs became very difficult, and you could see Delhi batters struggle, to time the ball very well, especially Rishabh Pant. I think, you could see him, Ricky Wooey also, even though Ricky didn't stay at the wicket for too long. Look at somebody like a Stubbs, things stayed around for about 7 odd delivery, but it gives you an idea how the wicket's behaving. You could see all those middle order batters for the Delhi Capitals were trying too hard to get to the ball, and that's what gave me an impression that the wicket's sticking a bit, and stroke making isn't quite easy. Having said that, you needed a total to play with. At one point, as you said, Siddharth, Delhi didn't have that total, but now Delhi have given themselves a fighting chance. I would say this isn't a total with which you can't play. This is definitely something that you can compete with. 175 on this wicket can prove to be a little tricky. It looks like a dry surface, this black soil, and I think it is that duo of Kuldeep and Aksar which really will determine now who the winner of this match is going to be. Delhi, I think now, if it wasn't for the last over, and if it wasn't, let's say, for it looked like a blunder to begin with, as I said, turned out to be a bit of a master stroke, because Delhi have now given themselves something to play with, and this is good amount of runs. I wouldn't say this pegs them in pole position or anything like that, but then this gives them and the bowlers something to play with, and I think Kuldeep Aksar will hold the key for the Delhi Capitals.
Indeed, I mean, if you look at it, but the nature of black soil is such, you don't know which black soil you're getting. It could become better to bat on, and if you look at Abhishek Porel's exploits, maybe the pitch is getting better to bat on. That is the one way you can interpret it. But look, this was a kind of a very strange kind of innings in Mullanpur. I mean, what you saw it, because in Mullapur you saw initially it was quite good to bat on. Then it became sticky, and now it is again becoming a bit easier to bat on. Because see, the highest partnership that you've seen in the entire innings was 39. That too at the top.
At the top.
The second best came, the third best came towards the end. 27 of 9, and boy oh boy, Abhishek Porel, I mean.
Not too sure, Siddharth, if I would attribute it, let's say, to the wicket getting easy, or maybe it was just some very ordinary bowling from Harshal Patel, who had done most things right, by the way, in those first 3 overs that he bowled. He got crucial breakthroughs. I think he had 2 wickets as well going into the last over, but it's that last over where I think, in fact, Punjab, I think, made the same mistake that RCB made yesterday, overdoing the short ball. You look at that field, you knew, like Shivam Dubey knew that those short balls were directed at him, and after a point he was able to nail those short deliveries into the boundary. Exactly what we saw from Abhishek Porel today as well. There were 4 fielders on the leg side, so you knew the balls are always going to be short. There were 2 stock deliveries, and there were 2 cutters as well, but again short. And where did all the boundaries go? On the leg side.
Yeah, I mean, again, Harshal Patel, in the past what has happened is he overdone the slow delivery, the slow short delivery. I think the one shot that totally put him into panic mode was that one slot ball.
99 meters?
Yeah, which he absolutely nailed it, Abhishek Porel. 99 meter 6, and ever since then he was shot, whacked through the leg side, long leg, backward square leg, 1-6 there, 1-4 there, 2-4s there in fact. Harshal Patel in the death just lost it, and
I think for whatever 1.5 match that of the IPL 24 that we've seen so far, I think it's the longest 6 so far. But you don't expect this to stay for too long, because there's the firepower of a Livingston, there's the firepower of a Johnny Bairstow in the opposition ranks. There is Andre Russell to play later.
Of course, later in the evening.
So you don't quite know for how long. But that remains the longest 6. But that was, I think, the hit that gave him the confidence towards the last couple of deliveries as well, that he could target the shorter boundary.
Yes.
And remember the 2 boundaries, and this will be interesting what the approach from Punjab will be. The square boundaries are 60 odd meters.
Yeah.
The one in front, I think, is about 75 meters or so. So it's difficult to clear the ball if you're trying to hit it straight. Square, I think, is easier, let's say, to target.
Yes, so that's why Abhishek Porel's knock of 32 of 10, 320 strike rate has meant that 175 is the target that Punjab Kings need to do. But before we get to whether Punjab can chase it or not, okay, the main question, we'll try and address it a lot more in the post-match also, but first signs of Rishabh Pant. Now, I stated that, okay, he has still not lost some of his bravado. I mean, he tried the reverse sweep, he went for the lofted shot. Some of the shots, I mean, that one drive that he hit through extra cover was fantastic. One shot, okay, it has often gotten into trouble, the slog that was there, but luckily Harshal Patel dropped it. But I would say about 40% he looked rusty. What is your assessment of Rishabh Pant's knock? And looking at it, does it give you confidence that yes, he can build upon it and be consistent in IPL 2020, or do you think there's some things to worry about?
Again, I would have wanted to see a little more of Rishabh Pant to begin with, but I am in complete agreement with you that he looked rusty. Of the main batters that we saw from Delhi, let's say the 8 batters, and I'm including the impact player over here. I think Rishabh Pant, it's fair to say, was one of the rusty looking batters out there. I think him, Ricky Bowie and Tristan Stubbs struggled, and it'll only be fair to say that that these 3 batters from Delhi did struggle, and maybe a 40-45, I think Rishabh Pant did struggle. In fact, the first couple of runs that he got, in fact, I remember he got off the strike, I think, when he just moved his feet a bit, he came down the track and just knocked the ball towards mid-on and got that first run. That's when I thought, okay, he's looking fine, he's moving around fine. It was good to see that, there weren't any signs of fitness troubles or injury, because, like you said, he was trying to reverse sweep, he was trying to slog sweep, he was dancing down the track. So those were good beats from an athleticism, fitness point of view, that I was happy to see Rishabh Pant moving around well. Having said that, yes, there was an issue, but what gives me some hope, what gives me comfort is the fact that he timed that ball. I think it was the foolish ball from Ashdeep that he creamed right through extra cover, knew that the field was up, all just had to do was find the gap, and he did that to perfection. That is what gave me a lot of hope.
Exactly. But if you look at it, I mean, I also am in total agreement. We'll dwell a lot more into Pant's knock during the post-match thing, because just have a very short turnaround. But I think the one area, and I think we have already identified it on game number 1, the lower middle order, if you look at Pant, Bowie, Stubbs, Sumit Kumar, if you look at those 4 batters, 28 of 37, it's Punjab Kings, that's why probably Delhi Capitals could get away with it. But against a better team, 28 of 37 in the middle overs could prove to be problematic. And if Punjab maybe chase it down, is it fair to say that maybe those 28 of 37 Delhi were probably 10 to 15 runs short in that sense, if Punjab managed to chase it? Because 18 of 13 Rishabh Pant, Tristan Stubbs 5 of 8, okay, so that means it's 23 of 21. Ricky Bowie 3 of 7, meaning it is he was he was 5 of 8, okay, so he is 23 of 21, 5 of 8, meaning 28 of 29. Sumit Kumar 2 of 9, and that meant that you really struggled in the middle overs had it not been for Abhishek Porel.
Yes.
we would have not given Delhi Capitals a slight edge at this point.
Yeah, and if you think, the one thing that coincided with all those batters, let's say Siddharth, that you named was, I think they were all playing spinners. There was
Rahul Chahar
and Harpreet Brar both bowling in tandem, and that's where the runs started to dry up for Delhi. It was, I think, in that period between the 8th or the 9th over, right up till the 14th over, which is where runs dried up for the Delhi Capitals, and they started to lose wickets as well.
Yeah.
And which is why it's for the same reason that I feel that the Delhi spinners will now hold the key. But having said that, addressing the Delhi batting over here, I think it's still early days. Some of these batters have shown form elsewhere, though not in the Indian conditions per se, let's say. And we've talked about how Rishabh Pant will hold the key for Delhi going forward as well.
Yes.
How quick is it that he can come into form? That will determine a lot for this side. But yeah, at some point you will need these Delhi battles to pull their socks up, and especially if they are to stick with the Ricky Bowie, if they are to stick with the Tristan Stubbs, who scored plenty of runs in SA20.
Yes.
How they can. The only worry real worry that I have of having seen the first innings over here is that because the Delhi wicket, once they move back to the Arun Jaitley Stadium, has the ability of being the sticky wicket that we saw today. So if that is the case, how are these batters then going to adjust? Because what you need from home venues is to suit your own batting. That's what RCB have covered, let's say.
Yep.
Delhi, not quite the case, I would say. So that's where I think things are going to be tricky for the Delhi Capitals.
Well, absolutely, if you look at it. So we are about to resume the chase at this point in time. 175. Dhawan, Bairstow, Livingston, Karan, Prabh Simran. By the way, Prabh Simran is the impact sub, and Arshdeep Singh is sitting out at this point for Punjab Kings. So Delhi's main asset when it comes to their bowling is the spinners. Let's make no mistake. Akshar Patel with his economy, Kuldeep Yadav, and he's always started well for the Delhi Capitals the last 2 seasons. So Kuldeep, I think, holds the edge. So 175. Can Punjab chase it, or do you think Delhi have just about done enough?
I think you're in for a close match, Siddharth. I would have said that Delhi are about 10 to 15 runs short maybe, but I think it's those spinners, it's those 8 overs of spin that will really determine the result of the match. I think the quality of spinners that Delhi have does give them a chance of just scraping a win over here. Otherwise, this would have been a canter for Punjab given the batting they have.
Given the Punjab, I think I would be tempted to change my prediction, because I had said PBKS because of the team that they have chosen is probably far more balanced. But I think that last over thing has switched the momentum to Delhi Capitals. So I think I might change my prediction. I will go with the Delhi Capitals because of the 2 spinners in Akshar and Kuldeep. Yeah. That is the only reason.
It's this wicket, Siddharth. I think it's this wicket which gives me, let's say, some hope from a Delhi perspective that they can eke out a win over here. It will still, I maintain that it will be a close affair. I still feel Punjab do have the batting depth with them. So it'll be an interesting match.
For me, I think the key batter, if it's a kind of very tricky situation, I think it could be Jitesh. Jitesh Sharma might actually hold the key at this point in time, and that's why I'll be very, very tempted to say that it is going to be a very close affair at this point. So 175, the Delhi players are coming out, and yes, Pant is keeping. We all thought maybe with Abhishek Porel, maybe even because he's also keeper, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But no, it is Pant who's going to keep, and this will be the second part of seeing Rishabh Pant very slow, because mobility. As far as batting is concerned, he did not look in any kind of trouble while running. He looked in good touch, and that is why it is that. Let's take a couple of comments. Piyush Nandre, I want Rishabh Pant in BGT even as pure batter, but in T20 he is not fitting even as wicket keeper bat. See, Piyush, as a test player, as a test batter, Rishabh Pant is a bona fide match winner. And if there is 2 players, there's Virat Kohli, there is another person that I've said that the Aussies fear and respect, it is Rishabh Pant. Every single time he's gone to Australia, he's always done well. Piyush Nandre is also saying huge respect to Rishabh Pant willpower after Yuvraj Pant comeback really was heartwarming. You can check it out. We have done the video on the social media reactions. The unanimous thing is Everybody is very happy and emotional to see Rishabh Pant back on the cricket field after 450 plus days.
Make no mistake, it's the doctors who treated him who was saying that he recovered good 6 months earlier than anyone else would have. Priyanshu saying that the Delhi Capitals will defend this. Kuldeep and Aksar show loading. It does look like the kind of wicket, Priyanshu, I agree with you, that could aid the Delhi spinners. And we'll take more comments as we go along. Last couple of comments, in fact, we'll take, and then we'll see you guys at the post-match coverage.
Okay, GGK, I want to take this.
Okay.
Rinku Singh must be very happy, man. Tushar Deshpande, Yash Dayal, Harshal Patel are death overs. Well done, GGK. Well done. I mean, yes, Rinku Singh will be. And see, if you look at the SRH bowling, who's going to be their designated death overs bowler? That is the big concern. That's why SRH, I didn't put them in the top 4 because their bowling is not inspiring. Maybe Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Bhuvi might be your death over specialist. But yet again, who's the backup to Bhuvi and Cummins? That's the problem. So,
and much like Delhi, Punjab have also gotten off the mark with a boundary. We'll catch you guys at the post-match show. Till then, we'll take your leave. Remember, we'll also be bringing you the coverage of the second match as well, and there'll be SRH taking
versus
on
KKR at the Eden Gardens. So
let's see what the Eden Gardens has got for us. Piyush Nandre predicting a DC win over here. Let's hope that's the case, Piyush. We'll see you guys.
But Ashish Dar struggling against left-arm spinners. You're right. Aksar Patel's had the wood over Johnny Bairstow. And Kuldeep, boy, he was clueless against him even then in the test series. So yes, very close fight. It's going to be a very, very tough tussle. Let's see how Punjab responds. Bye-bye. We'll be back for the match end and also build up to the KKR versus SRH game.